Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Battle control.
Good to hear from
online.
you. All right. Advancing.
New
Advancing.
mission objective received.
All right. I hear you loud and clear. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. I'm nuclear. Krukov here. I'm listening. Our enemies tremble. I hear you loud and clear. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Ready for orders. Good to hear from you. Pursue them. Good to hear from you. Pursue them. Our enemies tremble. Ready for order. All right. Our enemies tremble. I'm listening. I'm nuclear. Our enemies tremble. Pursue them. Krukov here. I hear you loud and clear. The beautiful glow. I'm nuclear. Let me get closer. Enemy of the people, Krukov here. I'm nuclear. I'm listening. The beautiful glow. Krukov here. Our enemies tremble. I'm listening. Ready for orders. I'll melt it down. I'm listening. Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. Rinse and repeat. Good to hear from you. Pursue them. I'm nuclear. Then we must go. I'm nuclear. Then we must go. I'm listening. Pursue them. I'm listening. I hear you loud and clear. Здравствуйте. I'm listening. Good to hear from you. Sheer agony. Krukov here. All right. I hear you loud and clear. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. I'm nuclear. Sheer agony! Krukov here. I hear you loud and clear. Krukov here. I hear you loud and clear. Let me get closer. Krukov here. Pursue them. Здравствуйте. Then we must go. I'm listening. Then we must go. Здравствуйте. Pursue
Unit firepower
them. I
upgraded.
hear you loud and clear. Krukov here. Let me get closer. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. Ready for orders. Ready for orders. All right. Good to hear from you. All right. Pursue them. I'm listening. All right. Our enemies tremble. I hear you loud and clear. Pursue them. Then we must go. I hear you loud and clear. Rinse and repeat. Our enemies tremble. Let me get closer. Enemy of the people. Krukov here. Advancing.
Unit promoted.
I'm listening. Let me get closer. Ready for orders. Then we must go. I'm nuclear. Enemy of the people. Good to hear from you. All right. Our enemies tremble. Let me get closer. Ready for orders. I'm listening. I'm listening. They're in our way. Ready for orders. The beautiful glow. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. Rinse and repeat. I hear you loud and clear. I'm listening. I hear you loud and clear. All right. Krukov here. Then we must go.
Engineering.
Здравствуйте. Advancing. Ready for orders. Здравствуйте. I'm nuclear. Our enemies tremble. Rinse and repeat. Krukov here. Let me get
Tools
closer.
ready. Moving. I will go.
Krukov here. Let me get closer. Our enemies tremble. Krukov here.
Beacon placed.
Good to hear from you. Pursue them. Then we must go. Sheer agony. Krukov here. Pursue them. Let me get closer. For the motherland. Our enemies tremble. Здравствуйте. Enemy of the people. Our enemies tremble. For the motherland. Our enemies tremble. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear.
Tools ready.
Ready
Yes,
for
Commander.
orders. Ready for
I have the
orders.
information. I will
Pursue
go.
them. I'm nuclear. They're in our way. Then we must go.
Engineering. Moving.
I'm nuclear.
Engineering. Moving.
All right. Здравствуйте. Advancing.
I have the
Pursue them.
information. Yes,
Krukov
Commander.
here. Then we must go. Ready for
I have the
orders.
information. Yes, Commander. Moving. I will go.
Our enemies tremble.
Tools ready. Yes, Commander. Moving. Yes,
Unit
Commander.
promoted.
Yes,
I'm
Commander.
nuclear.
Moving. 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 Checking design.
Ready for orders. I'm listening. Then we must go. Ready for orders. All right. Then we must go. I'm listening. All right. Здравствуйте. Advancing. Our enemies tremble.
Bridge repaired.
Pursue them. Krukov here. Then we must go. Advancing. Ready for orders. Advancing. Здравствуйте. I hear you loud and clear. Our enemies tremble. All right. Здравствуйте. Krukov here. I'm listening. Krukov here. Then we must go. Our enemies tremble. Advancing. Pursue them. Advancing. I hear you loud and clear. Our enemies tremble. All right, let me get closer. They're in our way. I'm nuclear. I hear you loud and clear. Advancing. Let me get closer. I'm listening. Let me get closer. I'm nuclear. Sheer agony. Krukov here. Здравствуйте. I hear you loud and clear. I'm nuclear. Then we must go. Then we must go. Then we must go. Ready for orders. Then we must go. I'm nuclear. Здравствуйте. I hear you loud and clear.
Objective complete.
I'm nuclear. Krukov
Battle
here.
control
Pursue them.
Battle control
I'm listening.
online.
Saboteur.
Krukov
New
here.
mission objective received.
Our enemies tremble. Let me get closer. I'm listening. Good to hear from you. Krukov here. Good to hear from you. I'm nuclear. I'm nuclear. Our enemies tremble. Krukov here. Our enemies tremble. Rinse and repeat. Ready for orders. All right. All right.
We take what the people
Our
need.
enemies tremble. Then we must go. Здравствуйте. Krukov here. Ready for orders. Good to hear from you. I'm nuclear. I'm listening. I'm listening. For the motherland. All right. The beautiful glow. Ready for orders. I hear you loud and clear. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Advancing. I'm listening.
Saboteur.
All right.
I see.
Здравствуйте. Let me get closer. Our enemies
I got
tremble.
what you need. And if I don't,
Advancing.
I will.
I'm listening.
One-way
I
ticket.
hear you loud and clear. Advancing. 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 Our
Unit armor
enemies tremble.
upgrade.
All right. Ready for orders. Let me get
I got
closer.
what you need. And
I'm
if I don't,
listening.
I will.
Let me get closer. Ready for orders. Let me get closer. Здравствуйте. I'm nuclear. For the motherland. I'm nuclear. I'll melt it down. Ready for orders. Здравствуйте. Sheer agony. All right.
I got what
Our
you need.
enemies
And if I
tremble.
don't, I will.
Then we must go.
Better way.
Krukov here. Advancing. I'm nuclear.
Your systems are open to
I
me.
hear you
Shut
loud
up.
and clear. I'm nuclear. Then we must go. I'm nuclear. Advancing.
Whom should we steal from?
Здравствуйте.
One-way ticket.
All right. Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. I'm listening. Let
Shut
me
up.
get closer. Good to hear from you. Pursue them. I'm nuclear. All right. Then we must go. Здравствуйте. Sheer agony. Здравствуйте. Our enemies tremble. Krukov here. Let me get closer. Our enemies tremble. I'm listening. from you. All right.
Saboteur.
Our
Mission
enemies
continues.
tremble. Let me get closer. Our enemies tremble. I hear you loud and clear. Let me get closer. Krukov here. Enemy of the people. I'll melt it down. Здравствуйте. Krukov here. For the motherland. Krukov here. Let's me get closer. I'm listening. Let's me get closer.
Beacon placed.
I'm nuclear.
We take what
I
the people
hear you
need.
loud and
One-way
clear.
ticket.
I'm listening. Our enemies tremble. I'm listening. Ready for order. Our enemies tremble.
What do you want? One-way ticket.
Good to hear from you. Then we
take
must
what
go.
the people need.
Good to hear
Shall
from
happen.
you. Then we must go. Здравствуйте. All
take
right.
what the people
I'm
need.
nuclear.
The mission
I
continues.
hear you loud and clear. I'm listening.
I got what
hear
you
you
need.
loud
If I
and
don't,
clear.
I will.
I'm
I see
nuclear.
a better way.
Then we must go. Krukov here. For the motherland. Здравствуйте. They're in our way. Здравствуйте. Let me get closer. Krukov here. Then we must go. I'm listening. Krukov here. Let me get closer. Enemy of the
Saboteur.
people. I'm listening. For the motherland. Ready for order. I'll melt it down. Pursue them. Our enemies tremble. Sheer agony. I'm listening. All right. Then we
Saboteur.
must go. Ready for orders. Advancing. Our enemies
Won't
tremble.
simply steal from.
Let me get
The mission
closer.
continues.
I'm nuclear. Advancing. Krukov here. Then we must go. Ready for
We
order.
take what the people need.
Advancing.
One-way ticket.
Здравствуйте.
Your systems are open to me. We take what the people need. I see a better way.
Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. I hear you loud and clear. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer.
Saboteur, it shall happen.
Здравствуйте. Good to hear from you. All right. Ready for orders. Здравствуйте.
If I don't, I will.
Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. For the motherland. I'm nuclear. Pursue them. Good to
I got
hear
what
from
you
you.
need. And if I don't,
Let me get closer.
One-way ticket.
Krukov here. Advancing. I'm nuclear. I'm nuclear. All right. Krukov here. Krukov here. Enemy of the people. Здравствуйте. Advancing. Sheer agony. Then we must go. They're in our way.
Your systems are open to me.
Здравствуйте.
One-way
All right.
ticket.
Good to hear from you. Then we must go. I'm nuclear.
Saboteur, it shall happen.
I'm listening. I hear you loud and clear. Krukov here. All right. Здравствуйте. All right. I'm listening. Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. Sheer agony.
I got
Then
what you
we
need.
must go.
And if I don't, I
Ready for
will.
orders.
Our mission
Pursue
continues.
them. I'm listening. Let me get closer. I'm
Your
listening.
systems are open to me.
Pursue
It shall
them.
happen.
Then we must go. Our enemies tremble. Then
Saboteur,
we must go.
I see
Crew call here.
Your
I
systems
hear
are
you
open.
loud and
The
clear.
mission continues.
Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. All right. Good to hear from you. Advancing. Advancing. Ready for order. Advancing. I'm nuclear. For the motherland. Crew call here. All right. Our enemies tremble. I hear you loud and clear. I'm listening. I'll melt it down. Ready for orders. Good to hear from you. I'm nuclear. All right, let me get closer. Then we must go. Strategy. Let me get closer. I'm listening. Then we must go. Crew call here. Pursue them. Ready for orders.
We take what
Let
the
me
people
get
need.
closer.
I will go and take a look.
Crew call here.
Saboteur.
Then we must go.
Better way.
Good to hear from you. I
got
hear
what
you
need.
loud
But if I
and
don't,
clear.
I will.
Strategy. I'm listening. Good to hear from you. All right. Our enemies tremble.
Saboteur,
I
the
hear you
mission
loud and
continues.
clear. I'm nuclear. Let me get closer. Let me get closer. Our enemies tremble.
Saboteur, one way ticket.
I'm listening. Advancing. Ready
Your
for
systems are
order.
open to me. It shall happen. What do you want?
Good to hear from you.
Saboteur, it shall happen. We take what the people need. Our mission continues. I see a better way. I will go and take a look. I got what you need. And if I don't,
Beacon
I
detected.
will. I see a better way. It shall happen. I have something for you.
Crew
Building
call here. Sheer agony. I'm listening. Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. They're in our way. Good to hear from you. Then we must go. I'll melt it down. I'm nuclear. Then we must go. Our enemies tremble. Let me get closer. Crew call here. They're in our way. I'm listening. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. I'm nuclear. Pursue them. Crew call here. I'm nuclear. Good to hear from you. Advancing. Sheer agony. Strategy. I hear you loud and clear. Good to hear from you. I'm nuclear. Then we must go. I'll melt it down. I'm nuclear. Let me get closer. Crew call here. Strategy. Let me get closer.
objective complete.
Advancing. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Let me get
New mission
closer.
objective received.
I'm nuclear. All right. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. Strategy. Our enemies tremble. Let me get closer. All right. Crew call here.
Warning, enemy infantry battalion detected.
Crew call here. I hear you loud and clear. Good to hear from you. Pursue them. Ready for orders. Then we must go. Pursue them. Good to hear from you. Then we must go. Crew call here. Then we must go. Crew call here. Crew call here. Let me get closer. Our enemies tremble. I'm listening. I'm listening. Здравствуйте!
Beacon placed.
Krukov here. All right. Sheer agony. Our enemies tremble. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. I'm listening. Our enemies tremble. Good to hear from you. Our enemies tremble. Ready for order. All right. Krukov here. Then we must go. Good to hear from you. All right, I'm listening. Pursue them. Good to hear from you. I'm listening. Advancing. Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. I'm nuclear. Здравствуйте. Pursue them. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. Good to hear from you. I hear you loud and clear. Ready for order. Then we must go. Our enemies tremble. Pursue them. Ready for order. I hear you loud and clear. I'm nuclear. Good to hear from you. Let me get closer. I'm listening. I hear you loud and clear. All right. Здравствуйте. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. I'll melt it down. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. I'm nuclear. I'm listening. I'm listening. I hear you loud and clear. I'm nuclear. All right. Здравствуйте. Pursue them. Our enemies tremble. I hear you loud and clear. I'm nuclear. I hear you loud and clear. Good to hear from you. All right. Good to hear from you. I'm listening. Let me get closer.
Objective complete. You are victorious.